Uh, I've been noticing something here that just it really bothers me. Uh, I see a lot of Christians uh, and other truther people, personalities. It's like ISIS, okay? Lately, when I go out in public, I've been catching. It's mostly white folk. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no disrespect, I'm not racist, and I don't mean to speak in such terminologies. Like there's really that big a difference between people. Like why couldn't I just say people? Because you gotta understand it's cultural. This is a cultural thing, and it's just this is a little window into the streets, into the mindset of people in general. I've been catching people giving me these looks of death and like total like apprehension, and it's like I'm like that's exactly the way my face feels. Is like it's like man, what's going on, man? Why are you I could feel people just like fuming from across the room, and they keep giving me that shifty eye look. You know what I'm saying? And it's like these people are brainwashed into thinking any person with a beard is Muslim or Arabic or something, dude. And it's dude, I'm no in no way uh any part of any of that. You know what I'm saying? Actually, you know, I mean, I've met Middle Eastern people enough to know that it is kind of a lot of hype that they've put on us through Hollywood and through the false flag of 9/11, that false stereotype of that guy Osama in the picture, and you can see the Photoshop of his death picture. It was his other picture that they had from previously with it was all photoshopped. And some people that proclaim, you know, that they're fighting for Jesus, you know, they keep this mainstream myth of ISIS, which we all know is CIA. So a lot of times when people speak upon ISIS and ISIS related mainstream media events, they pass them out to us verbatim as if this stuff is real, as if I haven't seen like all these videos of them showing green screen beheadings. They had some guys down in a room with a big sheet up behind them and a props in props. Okay, the guy in the ISIS ninja mask was hugging the guy on the ground before they cut on the camera. It was like there was someone recording them recording, and just like Robbie Parker, the Sandy Hook shooter father guy with his kids all throwing up the Baphomet, drawing pictures of Moloch the day before they got shot and smiling about it. Uh, they before he went on to the news, someone leaked the footage of him getting into character and then whipping himself up into fake tears. And then, you know, I mean, it's like all these, listen, lovers of the truth. These are supposed to be the people from the Bible. But yet, for some reason, a certain percentage, whether it's indoctrination or unawareness, they still present that ISIS narrative as if it is genuine, that they're catching from the mainstream media. I mean, we have to not even play, don't add into the energy ritual. It seems like these Christians are playing into the energy hate ritual. I mean, yes, I do know radicalized Muslims do want to kill us, and there are refugees on the way. You know what I'm saying? To fill that gap for the powers that be to play their part in the ww3 Albert Pike Muzzini letter plan. And it seems like these people are playing the Christian pro-Zionist role that Albert Pike spoke of. And it's like, I understand that. You know what I'm saying? That it's weird, man, because we've all been indoctrinated into this kind of nationalism. And it's like, it's almost like, you know, the little horn and the 10 horns, man. It's like it's really strange, man, how the stuff has been orchestrated to such expertise, man, for so many generations, and it's coming to pass exactly that way. And Albert Pike basically is Wild Weasel, man. It just means it'll be a time where there's like five different vying factions of groups of people all go like while these two factions are fighting, you got just chaos anarchists out here. These rogue elements, the beasts of the field, just mobs of people like from the hood, probably like Africa. You can look at Africa and how they got kids standing out in the streets with AKs, and you can kind of get a vibe of a post-apocalyptic America situation. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, I mean, the kid soldiers of Africa are great. This is where we're heading, and this is even by design, because I mean, it's even once again that Lord of War movie. It shows like if the government gets a hold of your kids and indoctrinates them right, it's like they become more better killers than grown men, because for some reason, if you catch kids young enough and you desensitize them, traumatize them, give them the Assassin's Bill Cooper programming, and they really do that. That was in Blood Diamond. It shows when they get all the kids high and they get them laid. That's giving them paradise on earth. So that's where you get your bomber, your suicide bomber programming too. Because once you're the assassin, you know what I'm saying, for in one of these, these basically orphanage mobs of orphans that get taken up by war criminals. It's that you can get them to a point where they're brainwashed. It's like Jim Jones. All of us drink the Kool-Aid, and people will do it. It's operant conditioning, and it's scientific mind control. I mean, it's like just like pimping is mind control, and it's like someone obviously did some kind of study on that in private, but then leaked it to someone, and they refined the technique. You look at Charles Manson, and he had a pimp like he was operation really in pimping. Like he had like 10 different white chicks, and he sent them all over to the Beach Boys house. The other day I said it was the Beatles. It was the Beach Boys. I had a mind slip there, but it's like it's mind control, man. It was leaked to the streets, and this ISIS fear mongering, man, and it's fear profiteering as well, dude. By you're helping cover the false flags and the hoaxes by acting as if you can just repeat the mainstream media verbatim to the sheep. You're gonna feed the sheep the poison that the mainstream media is putting out. You're gonna not block that out. I mean, if you don't notice, man, I don't talk about any of that stuff much because I know it's fake. I don't want to entertain people too. I know there's a real element to it. Like you see me make a video about Sharia. Nah, means like no. Keep that shit over there. But we got supposedly a compound here in Michigan, Dearborn. That is a real type of situation to keep your eye on instead of the fake point to the mountain, strike the grindstone technique that these people are pimping on you with. And then, you just got wake up to this. Recognize what they're doing to you, how they're using you to spread the fear, spread the lies, to help in the brainwashing, indoctrination, repetition, neurolinguistics programming. Don't comply with these people. Listen, your silence is consent, and your consent is consent. When you repeat verbatim the lies of these obvious false flag hoax, psyops, desensitization ops, heart and mind ops, ww3 Albert Pike plan ops. Some of you know about the ww3 plan. So you gotta take this into consideration here. That it's like, wow, we keep our binoculars pointed at fake ISIS on the green screen. The real terrorists are creeping up behind us. You know what I'm saying? Don't help these people deceive us. You know what I'm saying? In a way, you're running interference so the other guy can run behind us. You're getting our attention, going like this, keeping us busy, while you're covering for people that are manipulating everyone. And it's almost like we're watching you, like me through the screen right now. If there was an ISIS guy walking behind me and I didn't have access to see this right here, I wouldn't know he was there. But you seen me and you could see him there, but I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, oh, they're behind you, they're behind you. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what's going on here. It's like we can cover each other's back. And I noticed something you don't. And your blind side, you're so focused on the misdirection that you're leaving the back door wide open for the real guys. They're not the fake CIA operative actors. They use crisis actors, crisis actor websites, crisis actor ads for jobs, man. Right before shit happens in different cities. Different active shooter drills. Integrated capstone event. Federal law enforcement grant operations, man. The reason the police got all this new equipment is because they do fake false flag drills for the Fed. The Fed gives them funds, appropriates them funds if they complete these operations where they run up in schools and say that there's a shooter in there, and they put it out to the public that there's a shooter in the school. And then 2 hours later, they're like, oh, it was just a drill. But they play games with your mind. You know, if you knew how many drills there really was, you'd be looking at these shootings like, wait a second. This is exactly what they did over here in a fake operation drill. They've done hundreds of them. You gotta be blind to not recognize this. To stop. Same thing with the false flag hoax shootings. It's like when you present it off like the mainstream media does, you help spread the rumor. You help spread the deception. I mean, speaking on it is one thing, or it'd be like this. This has come from the mainstream media, so give people warning, like a disclaimer. Like, listen, I don't agree with this here. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you let people know that you're in the know about what's really going on. Because sometimes you guys act as if you're in on the psyop. I mean, and listen, I don't want to believe that. But why? I mean, listen, come on. It's like I watch a lot of these people too. Look, and I know how smart they are, and I know the access to information that they have. But I mean, I don't know. So a lot of these people have churches. They got to deal with a lot more people. So maybe when they're off camera, they're with their family or they're with the congregation, and they don't have the time to be filled all the way in. So that's why they're biting off the mainstream media crack on a hook, man. I mean, that's really what that is, man. It's they're fishing for people to bite on these false leads, and it's in a way, it's almost like it's like a hooks from a boat. It's got a long string with a bunch of hooks. You know what I'm saying? It's just they're trying to, like tugboats. Little boat steers the whole big boat. Like the general population is this big boat. And it only takes a couple tugboats to pull it in the direction that they want. But it only takes a few of us to snip the cords. You know, each one of us focus on a chord. In a sense, we can gunk up their words, slow up their process, make it harder for them to steer the narrative, which is suiting and opportune for the New World Order to oppress and tyrannize us even a little harder. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, man, I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's I don't know. People just got to tighten up. Tighten up where you can. You know what I'm saying? This is just one of the ways you can tighten up. Ignorance can be forgiven. You know what I'm saying? But willingly ignorance can't be overlooked neither. You know what I'm saying? Complacence, man. The lack of protest is consent. I mean, and protest just means protest. Bring it up, mention it, debate, ring the alarm, point out documents and resources.